Little Gay Talk Show, Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Welcome. It's another episode of That Little Gay Talk Show. I'm your host, Joel Tatum.
And I'm your host, Julio.
Oh, I was supposed to do my little thing at the beginning.
Little quip.
My little quip. Well, there was my little quip. I messed up.
My name is Julio, and I like this chandelier. Y'all show it to y'all later.
Exactly. We are. We're on the road. We're in Katy, Texas. Are we in Katy, Texas? Kind of,
yeah,
for sure.
Between Katy and Richmond, yeah.
Okay. Between Katy and Richmond, Texas. We're sitting down with Lola Standard.
Hi.
And Tanya something.
Just Tanya.
Just Tanya.
Just Tanya, y'all.
It's easy.
She's like Madonna. Just one name.
That's
Don't I
actually
wish.
true. That's actually true.
Don't I
That's
wish.
just one name.
Yep.
And then we have the doggies in the back.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
They're okay.
And they're okay. I think they're gonna be like background.
They might steal the. Yeah, she's going to be
We
the
might handle the
background.
microphone here and there.
The whiner. Yes.
But how are you guys this week? What's going on?
Wonderful.
Good. Right now, I'm going to kill a dog.
Oh,
but,
okay,
you know,
got it.
Just saying. Very stressed about the dog.
Literally just got off the boat.
Well, you're.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You guys went on a cruise.
I was going to say we're not FOBs, but
FOB?
fresh off the boat.
Oh, fresh off the boat. No. We literally got off the
There
boat.
was a TV show called that. I'm not like making a slur.
Sure, Tanya.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
I can look it up.
Okay. Well, I think we're all familiar with Fresh Off the Boat. So.
That cooking show on the cooking, wasn't it? That guy that would get off the boats and certain. Yeah.
No, it was about an Asian family,
No, that's on
and it was
ABC
called
right
Fresh Off
now.
the Boat, or
Oh,
FO. Yeah, it was that. It was
know that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's still on TV, isn't it?
I don't know. It could be. I don't know.
Never heard of it. She watches weird shows.
Oh my goodness.
No, she watches really weird shows.
I mean, I watch Japanese anime, so yes, I watch all kinds of weird stuff.
Okay.
Well,
And I just started Squid Games. I'm a little late, but I kind of just started.
You are late to the
I've
game,
now that I've never heard of.
It's on Netflix, so like it's right now. It's the #1 trending show in the world.
See, so if it's trending, I won't watch
And
it.
me too. I'm the same way. The
Nope.
reason I got into it because so many people talk.
I didn't watch Friends.
Yeah.
I didn't watch.
Secret. I didn't watch.
No, I have watched it,
Yeah.
but not when it was on.
Yeah.
Like when it's water cooler talk and all that, I'm like, nope, not watching it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I made it to like season 2 of Friends, and after that, I was like, eh.
Well, I mean, I did my watching of Friends back in the day, but when you ask me to watch it now, it's like, I already watched it. Why would I want to watch it
You
again?
see that? Yeah, that's.
I
I don't.
know that the kids love
Once
it.
I'm done, I'm done.
The millennials love it. I don't know why.
How many friends?
Oh, keep saying
so
that.
distracted.
Keep saying that. Now he's a lover. She's.
How many Friends shows have there been on a drag show? No one's ever done a Friends drag show, so it's not that popular. Now Squid Game.
They've done trivia, Friends trivia. That was on the boat.
Yeah.
Lots of people know a lot of Friends trivia.
So, how did this boat situation, because the cruise, how did that come about?
Oh my God! We have some common friends who had recommended. It's called a Boo Cruise.
Okay.
Halloween, and it's through JJ's Out and About. It's LGBT cruise, and everybody, the whole package was fabulous.
Oh.
It was only about 100 of us.
Was this a tamed gay cruise?
Tamed gay cruise?
You never heard about the other gay cruises?
Oh no, I have. Oh, yeah,
girl.
this was
That's what I'm saying. Was it tame? Was it?
This was the starter.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
It was a trainer. It was a trainer cruise.
The orgy cruise is years from now.
Oh, we heard all about it. Yeah, we heard all about those ones that were like nobody wears clothes
It's a
the
floating
entire time.
bathhouse. I'll put it to you that way.
That's what Desi was talking about.
Yeah.
Regular gay
Yeah, they
cruise.
literally said it was like a floating bathhouse.
floating
That's
orgy.
what they were
Floating bathhouse.
talking about.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally.
I heard that
And
term
I've
a
seen
couple of
little
times.
talks about it on Vice and on YouTube, and yeah, they get
But this one was fun. I mean, we went through all the usual COVID protocols, and we had to get the little video test and all that. And, you know, make sure that you have it within the window and walk out and say, "Hey,
Now,
we're good."
was this for pleasure, for business? Was it
Well, Lola performed, so I guess it was half business, half pleasure.
nice?
Yeah.
Lola went international.
She did.
Yes, queen. She better. Okay.
Yes, she went international twice.
Nice.
We're still
True.
talking about performing.
Sure, we are.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
You were in a different.
I don't know what happened.
I was gonna say I don't know what boat you were on, but
I'll drink to that.
yeah,
Go. Just kidding, man.
right?
So yeah, it was like an 8-day cruise. Left out of Galveston. We were supposed to go to Key West and then the Bahamas, And apparently Key West, from what I heard, they said we weren't going to go there because of COVID, but it wasn't that way. I heard all the retirees in Key West said we don't want people over a certain amount of cruise. So we did go to Key West. That was disappointing. But we went to the Bahamas, 3 different places.
I've heard Key West is beautiful.
Haven't been. I want to go.
I do too.
Yeah.
Last time I went to Miami, I told my friends, let's just drive there. We had a rental. I was like, let's go. I was like, yeah, well, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go with that energy.
I have been on 5 cruises, and I have asked my friend, how come we don't go to Key West? Oh, Key West is not all of that, girl. You don't want to go to Key West. It's just not all of that. I'm like,
okay.
Everybody says
older queens in Key West. A lot of the older queens.
Well, we would fit right in there.
I'm an older queen. Yes, I am.
I mean,
And I'm just a queen.
Period.
I share your sentiment, Tanya. I'm just a queen.
Who else went on the cruise with you guys?
Desi.
Well, Ron
and Clay.
Desi and Kara were the headliners.
They were the main ones. It was Kara Dion and Desi Lovely. So they were the performers. I think.
And they graciously asked Lola because they were doing. They needed filler so that they could change. So she was the commercial. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's what it was. They literally said...
the 7-foot-tall commercial.
Hey, would you like to... Because we were going on the cruise already.
Yeah.
And I think some things got changed where one of the girls wasn't going to go. What was her name? Deranged?
Yeah,
she's
been on there.
Couldn't go.
She was the headliner for years.
And so Kara and Desi were going to perform, and what they wanted was they needed someone to be there to... I'm calling it a commercial. I'm going to say, but host or do a number or so while they change it and everything. I was like, absolutely. I think it's fantastic. So it turned out to be where it was a performance cruise, and we actually did the night before on the boat, and then we did on Nassau. We did a performance at
Breezes
Resort.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. It was a lot of fun.
Okay.
So we wound up doing a couple of numbers, and I learned a lot about packing.
Okay.
You can't shove a lot of your hats and stuff just into a suitcase and expect it to be okay.
What about your wigs?
Sweetie, we need to invest in wig boxes for you.
Yeah.
You need some wig boxes. You got some. Those things are expensive.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. No, and I can fix it to a point, but I am not. No, I
We're
can
still learning.
fix it.
Yeah.
Still learning. We're still new to the game. Brand new.
Yeah.
There's no need to.
In fact, Thanksgiving, we're going to be celebrating 1 year doing drag.
Okay.
All right.
How did your drag journey start, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh my gosh. Lola has always been in the closet.
Okay.
In a box, behind the clothes or whatever. And so she would get pulled out for Halloween, whatever the justified. Well, we did a lot of charity events with the Montrose Softball League. We did a lot of that stuff. There she is. And so any excuse that we could use at the time to come out and be a drag was what we did.
Yeah.
And then a couple of years ago, we decided there's no reason for Lola to be in the closet anymore. Let's just bring her out. And so I became more interested in actually get out and perform regularly.
Yeah.
Met some really influential, guiding, smart people like Desi mainly.
Yeah.
And so Desi pretty much got me to the point to where she said, okay, you're ready to go.
You're good.
And so...
She made you do the drag race.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Like-
That's a good experience for a brand new...
The
think
first
everyone
time
does.
that she was on stage was at JR, So You Think You Can Drag.
Yes. With
The
coffee.
week before we did Drag Race, and that was
Every
almost a year
Thursday,
ago.
And JR Susan Coffee is the host of that show. I work those Tuesday nights there.
Yeah.
Hey, Coffee.
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, but the stage there at JR's,
Super high. Yeah.
being 8 foot tall already, and then being on that stage, it was way elevated. I mean, I hit my head, and I hung up on the rafters, and was like, so we made it interesting. But it's been a lot of fun. That was great. The whole drag race experience was amazing because I think everybody needs to do that. It's like a crash course. It's like college.
Yes.
It's like you learn so much.
Yes.
You learn by observation. You learn by what people tell you. You learn by the
You get
critique.
critique from the queens that have done it for so long.
Yes.
That have been in and out of the game, and they know their stuff. And
that's the cool part about it was that the contestants, some have been doing this for a long time, and some have been just like yourself, well, myself, just starting.
Yeah.
And so you get to see the contrast, and you get to see the good parts, and you make a lot of friends. All of us girls are still friends, every one of us. And you meet people, and then what happens is, as Desi tells us, she says, this is your platform. Your platform, once this is done, you do it what you want. And she has expectations, and she's a wonderful, wonderful person. But she says, get out there and work, and get out there and do your thing, and represent.
Yes.
Never know who's in the stage.
That's true.
All these things that never know who's in the audience.
Correct.
Sorry.
Well, you know what?
I talked to a few young queens that just started out doing drag, and they did the competitions, whether it's a Desi's or somewhere else. Blackberry also has a competition, Drag It On.
Yes, going on right now.
Yeah, and so when they tell you what they do, and it's challenging for them. It actually tests all their abilities. And
was extremely challenging.
Yes.
And what I was more impressed with was, obviously, I don't know how to say it. We don't live paycheck to paycheck.
Gotcha.
A lot of these young queens.
I've been meaning to talk to you as a friend. I've known you for so long now, and we'll talk off air.
And the things that they did with what little they had.
Yes.
That's what blows me away.
Yes.
Is it, not anybody.
That's my favorite.
But you can buy your way into certain things, but that doesn't give you talent.
Yeah,
that doesn't make you bookable.
Or even taste.
Right. So
I call them baby drags. Just when they're new, I call them baby. Just because I love that new energy.
Yes.
I love the hunger that they have for it. The ones that really want it, you'll see who lasts after a year, after 2 years. You'll see the ones that really stick around, that really love it. Because I've seen the girls come in, do it for 6 months to a year, and they drop out. You know what? It wasn't for me. It was too much work.
Right. It's a lot.
It's out my system now, and I moved on. Got it.
It's a lot.
We made a lot of friends with a lot of the girls that you could tell had talent and had drive.
Yes.
And talent and drive, creativity, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. The girls that have that drive and the nerve and some talent, those are the ones that stick with it and they can do it really well.
Houston, we have an amazing group of girls.
You know what?
I think we have the best drags.
We have been.
I really do believe that.
We've not been everywhere, but we've seen what's in Houston as compared to other places. And Houston has such a large, mass amount of talented girls who get on stage.
We've discussed it before. It frustrates us how they have not got that national attention yet for whatever political.
Go on a cruise.
Okay, honestly, because we have some queens that day in and day out, their looks, their hairs, their performances, their numbers, promotion. You see the whole package.
You can name 10 top queens right now without even thinking about it.
Exactly.
That all deserve national recognition that aren't getting it.
So, and I've talked to a few behind the scenes, and they just said it's a huge political game. It's a who you know, who you don't know situation.
It's show business.
It is.
But
it's just a different level.
We can name a bunch of girls that are getting recognition that don't deserve it.
Okay. The shade, and we are here for
the shade of it all.
Guilty by association. No.
She is a drag queen. I knew it.
Finally, we're going to talk some shade on an episode. Good Lord.
I'll be talking.
Don't get us started.
I want to hear all the good juicy stuff.
No.
When you're around the 24/7, 365, you pick up on a few things. And you start observing.
You do pick up on a few attitudes, and you do pick up on a few attitudes. Girls have attitudes, and they have their brand, and they have what they want, and that's fine.
Yes.
But some of them could be nicer.
Of course.
Big deal. That's one thing you're going to see about Lola. Lola's giving.
Lola's a bitch. I don't know if y'all know.
I've heard so many stories about Lola. And
if you want the tea on Lola, come to this tea because she knows it all.
I didn't realize it was that kind of show.
Welcome back to a shady episode.
We're going to walk around and meet every drag queen and shade them.
Okay.
Just enough.
Oh, no, we could do that. We could do that. The thing about being older, the thing about being 56 years old, thank you very much. The thing about being much older is that you have the ability to be observant. You have the ability to sit back and listen.
You have wisdom behind.
And shut your damn mouth. And when people say and do things, you can go, okay. But it doesn't affect you.
Correct.
Now, younger girls do let little things affect them where they shouldn't.
Correct.
Right. And so,
But we all did that when we were younger.
Oh, hell yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's drag queens or if it's just in
I
life.
would have been a terrible drag queen in my 20s. Oh, God. I would have been the worst. I would have been...
Lola would have had no standards back then.
No.
Well, true. She would have been NOLA standards.
No, I would have had no standards, believe me. I know. And I do have some standards, but I think it comes from experience of being older.
How old were you when you started doing drag officially?
How old was I when I officially got
Like
on?
you said, this is something I'm going to do moving forward.
Last year, 55 years old.
55.
5'5".
And then
55. Let me. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you're
yeah,
good.
55 to now. She and I talked at Buddies. Y'all, we do have the footage of that.
We do.
Yeah, we do, and it is online, so you can just look that up online.
It is, yes.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we did talk about that for a brief moment. And to start at such an age, I was amazed because I started doing a podcast at 50.
Yeah.
When everybody's like, Joe, what are you doing? Are you serious? And then I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
Why the hell not?
Life is too short.
That, and people always project.
And it's never too late.
And it has become the most stressful but happiest thing I've ever done. When I wake up in the morning, I'm a podcaster. And I've grown from each level to each level to each level.
And then he got to me.
And then
wanted to quit.
This one came along.
And wanted to quit the day of. He met me.
I just was like, where is
Fuck
this bitch coming
bitch.
from? She just swooped in one day and said, let me help
such
you
a
with some
know-it-all.
stuff.
A little bit.
Let me do a little bit of stuff. And then now she's sitting in the chair next to me and I can't figure out how that happened.
I say the same thing about her.
Okay. Bianca's.
Behind every queen, there's a bigger queen.
There's a bigger queen, yes.
I love that.
Yes, what you see here, all this that you guys see on stage, right there.
Now, can I ask a personal question?
Sure.
If you don't want to answer at any time, just say no. Let's skip on. How did it work between when you decided to do drag full time? What was the conversation like? Hey, honey, I want to do drag full time. What do you think?
Well, with Lola, there is no conversation.
Okay.
You find out about things just by
That's not Lola, that's Doug.
reading them on Facebook posts or so.
No. Lola's very honest and upfront. Doug is a motherfucker. He's
Okay, well,
yeah.
whomever I see,
Whoever you're dealing with that day.
right? Well, and for me, everybody always asks like he, she, Lola, Doug. I mean, to me, this person is both. And I know that a lot of people have a hard time with that because people think, oh, well, you have to choose one or the other. Right. I believe my choice is to not have a choice. I don't have to choose. I can have whatever it is I want whenever I want it. And a lot of people look at us, and there are a lot of people who...
What are the questions that you guys get a lot?
Oh my gosh.
What are the common questions?
Well,
FAQs.
yes. Well, before we get it,
are you gay?
Okay.
Are you what's the dynamic? How does this work?
Yeah.
Because you're an odd couple.
Do you feel comfortable talking about that?
Oh, 100%.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Oh, I wouldn't bring it up if I didn't.
Yeah, enlighten us. What is it? I'm
Are we
curious
fixing
to
to
know.
break the commercial?
No. I just wanted to throw in one little thing. First, how long have y'all been married?
Oh, God.
8 years.
Okay.
8 years.
Yeah, we met and we're married within 6 months.
Nice.
And we met at rodeo. So this originally, this was my cowboy.
Okay.
You can look at picture. There you go.
I saw
That's
a
what I
picture
married.
when I was walking in.
That's what I thought I was getting.
I'm like, is that a brother or? I want to meet him. He's hot.
No shit.
He is hot.
No shit,
He
right?
is hot. Yes, we met at rodeo, and you know what? We're on, what do we call it? We call it, this is our last
when
marriage.
y'all met at that time, and I'll show the picture of the show. When you met at that time, who were you at that point in time?
Oh, that was Doug.
Okay, Doug.
Yeah,
Straight
I did not know.
Oh, yeah, that was Doug the rodeo guy.
I knew nothing.
Sexually at the time?
No.
He was very close.
Oh, yeah. Actually, when did we do that first Halloween? Was it that year or the next year?
It was probably
I think it was the next year.
It was probably a year and a half, 2 years.
So the guy that we met, was just this rodeo guy, and here I am, my hat, my boots, and hey, darling, how are you? And I knew automatically, immediately that she was the one.
Okay.
And now, did that mean she was the woman? She was the wife? She was the one
that would understand.
spiritual connection, whatever. It was just it. She was it.
Yeah.
And when we connected, we told everybody else in our lives, okay, bye. You kicked out about 4 or 5 guys, and I kicked out the one girl at the time, and making it
4 or 5 guys.
These are the jokes. People pay attention. Right now. My point is that we met, we clicked.
He forgot the girl.
Okay.
Yeah. So and the girls. Yeah, you had the girls too. So the point is that we met and we fell in love and we got married and we said this is our lives. It wasn't. The only thing I really had to do is I had to get approval from Grandpa. That was what I really wanted to do. That old traditional.
Yes, of course.
We flew to California and God rest his soul. Lovely.
Yeah, but to answer the question...
Oh, I'm avoiding the question.
I knew nothing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
No, this was it all, like all of the... It's the typical coming out of the closet story. And I don't mean typical, but it's a person who has lived his whole life in a different... There's no, if any young kids or queens or older men or women, like this is the person to talk to because, and he was terrified to even tell me or to bring it up. And then, but I knew right away.
She saw it.
When we did the Halloween thing.
Okay.
And I was like, it was like, oh girl.
He's enjoying this way too much.
That was kind of my thing. And I had been a part of, I had been to charity drag shows before with our dentist, who was a big supporter of MSLA and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So my backstory is my mom has been married 3 times. My second stepdad, actually married my mom and was gay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
But tried to
be straight.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, to marry the gay away.
Everybody's had
so I grew up in my formative years, 11, 12, 13, with a stepdad that everyone in our town that he grew up in was saying, hey, did you know your stepdad's gay? I didn't know it. I didn't understand it.
You didn't get the concept.
I had no idea. I was like, what do you mean? Wait, not that there's anything wrong with that, but how does that work? He's my stepdad. But, and then I was in a gay relationship in high school.
If you don't mind me asking, how did that conversation go about? You don't have to go specifically, but like say.
Well, I think a lot of them happen. You know, nobody sits down to say.
Was it a
we
moment?
Need to talk.
Was it that after that?
It was a
moment. You're like, hey, we need to talk. Or
I look back at it as just more of an evolution of things, just a progression of. I don't know how,
because from my perspective, I believe it takes a strong person and someone who's already confident in themselves to be accepting. I'm assuming, correct me if I'm wrong, because in an average situation, somebody would have freaked out and said, "I'm divorcing you. I'm out of here. I didn't know you were this person. I did not marry you." But then you were actually I accept you.
There was never to that extent, but there were a lot of, dude, really, like. You knew who I was when we got married, and I don't feel like I knew you at all.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of that.
First time I started to back it up. Yeah.
So, but I mean, so there's been a lot of that kind of communication, and I'm more of the, what the fuck is going on, and this is more of the, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm going to avoid it, and then when I have to deal with it, I'm going to deal with it.
Cheers.
But, yeah.
Circling back to frequently asked questions, what are your frequently asked questions that people ask you guys all? Because it's a dynamic that's not...
I don't think people know how to ask the question about us. We don't get a lot of questions.
I don't see it a lot.
And now I hear things about us, not in a derogatory way, but it's more comments of you guys are
fantastic.
Like it's unique. It's like
the
relationship and the dynamic is very different. It's not traditional. It's not, heterosexual and or gay. It's organically a combination of those two things. And
I get those questions sometimes when this first started.
When the way I answer the question, the biggest, yes.
It's Tanya's show right now. Let her talk.
It is.
Well, I married a human being. I didn't marry a gender.
Okay. Love that.
That's true.
That's how I look at it. It doesn't matter because the soul of the human being, that's who you fall in love with. If you truly fall in love with someone, you fall in love with
another part of it is this. When we got together, all of the friends in her life, or family, or whatever, and all the ones in my life, they were all different. Yeah. So they all came together because of us. And so a lot of hers, I think, were more accepting. And a lot of the people in my life at the time were, I have questions.
Yeah.
Oh, we still have a lot of that. There is still
because a lot of her friends, like we put it this way, is that a lot of her friends had boxes for everything.
Okay.
So they had boxes to put Lola in. Yeah. They had boxes to put Lola and Tanya in.
Did y'all lose some friends along the way?
Sure. I have lost my very best friend over this.
Wow.
Yeah.
A number of things, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But as much as that hurts, you don't give me an ultimatum and make me choose.
Between my husband
nope.
and you. Yeah, correct.
You won't win. Yeah. It does not matter how much I love you and you came first. Yes, you were there first, but
wow. That's I figure something like that. That's a journey.
Yeah. And there's a lot of people who still haven't addressed it or don't bring it up, or there's a lot of people who are great.
They've asked around you.
Right.
That's
but
true.
then there are some, and and along the way,
at least they're still asking.
You lose people, but I think that it's more of it's kind of like sifting out, like when you sift flour and you're sifting.
You're filtering the bullshit.
Exactly, and I don't have time at my age.
You get a lot of clarity. You get a lot of questions answered without even being asked.
Yeah.
You get a lot of. I mean, we're involved in a lot of associations. Mm-hmm. We're involved in a lot of volunteer stuff. And certain associations have certain standards. Mm-hmm. Lola standards, by the way, Instagram and Facebook. By the way, they have certain standards to where they kind of go, they have to check themselves. And so when you go out there and you start to say, hey, here's Lola, and then they would go,
it doesn't
I have a
align
question
with our views.
Yeah. But I hope
moral compass.
I hope to someday.
Well, my moral compass does not fly due north, so fuck everybody.
Okay,
I'm going to tear down all the fences. My goal ultimately is to tear down fences and make sure everybody is on the same piece of property. You know, as far as community associations, as far as county associations, as far as city associations, the things that we're involved with that people. They still check the fences when we show up. And that's a touchy thing. They check the fences. They go, okay, so who are you going to be? What are you going to do? We still have all of our base friends who are totally accepting of stuff, but we want to move past that.
Correct.
We want to show up at certain events and say, hey, here we are, and here's our friends.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, Doug is Lola. He has fun. Oh, Lola, how's Lola doing? And then that kind of whittles down as far as how many people ask. And they're like, you're not bringing anybody with you. Bullshit. I'm bringing everybody with me.
Okay. So people typically ask you mainly around what your sexuality is, what the dynamic of relationship is. What other stuff do they ask you?
I don't. You know what? That's really funny.
Like I said, I think we don't get a lot of direct questions.
Like afraid that they're going to insult you.
I think that they just maybe. I think that they just kind of are like, that's kind of cool. That's really cool. But how does that all work?
Now, from my experience, just working in the neighborhood for about 5+ years, you guys are a unique item. You really are. So that's where the curiosity comes from, because in our neighborhood, it's either black or white.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get gray.
And that's why it's hard to kind of break into the community.
Yeah.
Like my biggest fear.
So initially,
and the first question I asked Desi was, how will Lola be accepted on the Drag Race being heterosexually married?
And that's the beauty about the neighborhood. Even if
she was like,
even if they don't get it at first, they'll welcome you in regardless. They'll figure out.
What's the definition of heterosexually married? Well, we didn't get married gay. We got married heterosexually.
You know what I mean.
No, I got to tell you a story though. When we were in the dressing room at Desi's Drag Race, one of the first couple of weeks, the coolest thing. One of the girls that had been there a long time. She wasn't a competitor.
Yeah.
You know who you are, because I love you very much. Anyway, she was in the dressing room and she was performing or judging. Mm-hmm. And it was really funny. I'm getting painted or repainted or whatever. And she goes, what'd she say? She said, Lola's married? It was funny as shit. I turned around and it was like eye contact. It was like, yeah, not my sister. That's my wife. But it kind of, I think initially this type of a relationship hits people in the face, and they go, wait. Because you expect to show up with your sister. Yeah. You expect to show up with your husband.
And that's what we normally see in the gay community with drag queens. Is you would have been the sister. You would have been the best friend.
Yeah.
So you're like, no, that's my wife. Just wait, what?
Well, the truth of it is that she is my best friend.
Yes, of course.
She is my best friend, and no matter what I decide to do tomorrow, or what she decides to do tomorrow, we're both going to be accepting of that, because acceptance is one thing. Like the gay community doesn't have the trademark of acceptance. There is acceptance in other communities.
Now, using this show as a platform, and somebody who's watching that, because I always tell people, if you have a unique message or you have a unique experience, what would you say to somebody? Say, hey, if you're going through what we're going through, we're a couple like us.
Here's the deal, people. Believe me, those of you who had the balls and the strength enough in your 20s and younger years to decide that you were gay, or that you were queer, or that you were bi, or that you were lesbian, or whatever, all the prop in the world to you. But those of us who didn't have that strength back then, who waited to their 50s and actually had to have someone else to lean on to make a decision, there's a ton of y'all out there. There's a ton of y'all out there that are curious of the community, and curious of drag, and curious of whatever, and you just didn't have the strength to do it. Yeah. Those of you who've done it at your young age, I mean, my God, I can't comprehend.
But the world is different now.
Yes. It is.
We weren't. What we grew up with, what our parents grew up. I mean, nowadays, I know that they have it hard. I'm not saying anybody has it easy, but it's easier than it would by those who paved the way. Correct. And that goes in any cultural experience. It's not just drag. It's not just gayism or queer. It's not any of that. It's no matter what. There's always somebody who paves the way.
Yeah.
And
that's what y'all did. Those young girls, those young boys, those young queens that decided to do this back in the 80s, back in the 90s, and the 2000s, and y'all decided, you paved the way for people like me and Tanya to be able to say, we want to be a part of the community. Because you don't have to just not be part of it. You can still be part of it however you want to be. You can volunteer. You can spend time.
I don't know if you're realizing it, but you're kind of paving the way in Montrose, both of you.
Oh, I think so.
You guys are original.
Yeah.
I will say that from my perspective. I think I'm sure some have come before, but you are more public. You're more seen. You're known. So
the first couple that I recognized was Yahira and Audacity.
They're amazing.
As far as a couple, like he won Desi's Drag Race. And he did drag, and and they're married, but they are.
I never met them. I didn't know. I had no idea.
Audacity and Yahira?
We need to.
Yahira.
Okay, first off, Audacity and Yahira, whenever you see this or anything,
please contact
one
us.
of the most amazing designers that I've ever met.
She just had her first show that we didn't get to go to on Monday at Buddy's.
We were on the cruise, and
she's a
Yahira,
phenomenal.
is it Yahira Hill? So she's married to Audacity, Derek Hill. And they're wonderful. Derek, Audacity, was a winner of Desi's Drag Race a couple of seasons ago. And Yahira designs costumes and outfits and everything for Muffy, for myself, for the girls.
But she's gone, like...
Oh my God, she's amazing.
She did a runway show, I think, at Buddy's.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, she just had her first runway show. So her and Derek are a heterosexual couple that he does drag and he does a lot of character acting. He's an amazing dancer.
I want to interview them as well. So
you should.
Please, let them know. Like,
they're amazing. The thing that you never see them when you caught me. We were at a show. What were we at Buddy's somewhere? Drag Race, and you caught me because I was like, she's working and I'm hanging out.
And I think I even called you Tanya, and you're like, I'm Lola.
I think so.
Because I remember you always handed me her credit card. I bartend there, so when you have,
it's always my card. Yeah.
And I genuinely, in my assumption, I was like, I thought you were originally a trans woman. Transition. So
I'm a trans lesbian.
So when I saw your card saying Tanya, I'm like, oh, that's Tanya. I associated you with the name Tanya. So that's for the first time I think I ever called you, hey Tanya, and you were like,
I answered to Tanya.
Well, yes.
I answered
Tanya's my wife.
I answered to Tanya. I answered to Tana. But Yahira and Audacity Derek, both of them are way too busy at a show like that. They're like going. So you never see them like just hanging out like me. They're going, working. But anyway, they're a fantastic couple.
I just want to say thank you guys for being a visible couple in the community. You are you're paving your own path. You are an example, whether you realize it or not. So thank you both for being that shining light, and thank you for discussing this openly, because I know somebody out there is watching. If not today, tomorrow, maybe 10 years from now, somebody's going to watch this video and say, I can relate to that. Yeah. That's us. Hey, babe, that's us.
That's another thing that we've experienced over this past, I'm going to call it a season. We'll call it a year, we'll call it a season. There's a lot of girls out there, boys and girls, there's a lot of them out there that have, they've got some issues.
Yes.
And it gets to them. And they pull away from social, and they pull away from performance. And those are the ones that I reach out to the most, because everybody has emotions.
Yes.
And everybody has emotional issues from time to time. And whether it's great or whether it's small, they're still your own issues. And that's who I hope to help the most, is those that have call them mental if you want to. It's not really mental. It's just emotions. We've all got them. And it's just like exercise, and it's just like your diet. It just gets out of control sometimes. And if I could help any of those...
that look.
If I can help any of that's my
that absolute look.
That's not
You
where I
want
was.
to take a cruise and get
I'm
skinny.
sorry.
Fuck
This
you.
is the gayest couple I have ever seen. Now, I know I haven't said much. Here's what I'm loving right now.
Isn't this your show?
I know. I know I haven't said much, but here's what I'm experiencing right now. I'm experiencing a younger person having such a fascination with your life and everything else, and seeing his life from a different perspective.
Yes.
From what he can do from this point on.
Yes.
And I think that makes you the most amazing role model. Now, I'd stay quiet because I was
taking it in. Yeah.
I'm taking it in because this
you always do.
This is where I want Generation X and Millennials to kind of like come together and understand we can learn from each other.
True.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to all be drama.
Yeah, it doesn't have
but
to be
it will
drama.
be. If you're in a neighborhood and you're the public figure, in our neighborhood, as I've told him before, on air and off air, love you guys, but sometimes y'all can be assholes and bitches. And
well, you know what?
Sometimes it shows. Yes.
I, as someone who is fascinated and loves gay culture, I love gay culture. I love everything about gay culture. Because for the longest time, I had to kind of like put that on the back burner. Because even though I was out as a gay man, I was not living what I consider my true life. And starting the podcast and everything else has allowed me to live my true form as the gay man I always knew I wanted to be. And my fascination and love of the gay community has grown even more despite all the drama. Gay people are just dramatic. They've always been dramatic. They always will be dramatic.
Now,
it is just something that is in our nature to be.
Yes,
and I realize that there's some issues that we're dealing with.
Yes.
But the fact that those issues are no longer hidden and we have to talk about them now, we are forced to talk about them now. Whereas before, we're pretty much in the same generation. We just stuck it underneath the rug.
From perspective, from somebody who's been in the industry in Montrose for over 5 years and can speak from a public figure type way, because people know who I am, they know who I bartended for and whatnot. The drama's going to always come with it. You have to have tough skin. You have to roll a lot of shit off your back. You will hear the good, you will hear the bad. The neighborhood is that kind of place where you can't even be Mother Teresa and somebody's going to clock you on your little bathrobe, gown, whatever you want to call it, her headpiece. You can do that, and they will. There's somebody out there that doesn't see the good.
Don't talk about Blossom.
No. I'm going to talk about what Clay said to me on the cruise.
Oh, you're one.
I was going to say it. Yeah.
I'm going to throw this in. Before you tell the story, she sat down and said, "You know what? I'm shy, and I'm not going to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk about stuff.
Girl.
I'm not that girl.
I'm so shy.
I'm so shy.
I don't know. Once I start talking, but I get accused of being the off-putting.
The biggest piece of advice I will give you guys is find your balance. Know when to be just as much as in the neighborhood, as much as out of it and out of the bullshit, because it can be draining.
Yeah,
it can be toxic if you are really involved in it.
And I think that for us, what helps is the fact that we have day jobs.
Yes,
we have to. I would be, and Desi knows this. I would be with Desi every day that Clay couldn't be with her, because I backstage her when she needs me, and I'm usually there on Thursdays and Sundays, and I would do it all the time. We live on polar opposite ends of the world. Far east, far west.
Welcome to San Antonio.
Hello.
Right. You live in San Antonio. But because of my day job, it kind of keeps me from being overly absorbed, because I know I don't have thick skin.
Back to the community conversation, though, one of the things that we've always talked about together was how we want to be respectful. Yes. Because you talk about being in the community for 4 or 5 years and doing your job or whatever, and however long you've been doing it too. But the thing is we're brand new.
And that's what I'm saying.
We're not walking in. We're not walking in waving flags.
Right.
We're totally respectful of everybody who's put their time in, and you know who you are.
And you're putting your time, and as you're putting your time, your platform grows. Your visibility grows.
It doesn't come with just putting in your time. It does.
Putting your time, putting in the work, putting in the effort.
Yes. But those of you, we've worked with people that've been doing this for 30, 40 years.
Piece of advice: communication is key, especially with a couple. Consistently staying, and I know I can tell you guys are great communicators, but like when it comes to neighborhood stuff, communicate.
Yes.
Tell each other everything.
Absolutely.
People will try to catch you off guard one way or the other. They'll either tell you one thing and tell her another, and sometimes it's the closest people to you. Sometimes it's.
I've already experienced a lot of the you're so far up Desti's ass you can't see.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And I'm like.
You will experience that. No,
okay, if you
there are cliques, there are groups, there are.
But you know what? To me, if that's how you want to view it, that I associate with a particular. The thing is that we're friends outside of drag. Exactly, and we're friends.
That's all that matters.
And we're of equal age.
No matter what, what relationship you have with Desi or Ron.
Somebody
will clock you.
There's always going to be someone to say something.
And that's where that tough skin comes into play, because people will say some shit, because a lot of times they just want to say it to see how it affects you.
Oh, yeah.
They want to say it just to see how it affects you too. Sometimes people will come in and try to put a wedge for no fucking reason.
Yep.
Just because they can.
They're entertainment.
I know. And it makes me sad because it's not the way.
So that's why I'm telling you both, find your balance within the community. Know when to be around and also know when to pull away. The club will be there tomorrow. That's why I always tell people.
Absolutely.
You take a break, that club or the new club will be there tomorrow.
Or the new club. Yeah. Or the new club.
The new club coming around. When are they going to settle that whole...
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not really 100% worried about you guys.
Yeah.
I think having the age on your side, having the experience on your side, and you have already been in and out of the gay community way before you even met them.
But now they're more active.
So you
very
kind
different.
of understand some of the dynamics and everything else. So these are not two people I'm really worried about.
Wait, let me make one thing clear. I'm not like just brand new. I've ventured into Montrose
a few times.
Quite a few times in my life.
When he was a cowboy.
I remember, as a cowboy. I remember the Montrose Mining Company and all that back further.
Through restroom, dark corner.
God, there are so many. When I was bar hopping in Montrose with my sister 30 years ago, she was a flogger.
That's a terrible name, flogger. She used to be
there, and a lot of the bars aren't even around that were there 30 years. Or they've changed. Like Barcode used to be EJ's. All the names. So when I was doing it in my 20s, it was like very, very different because my sister was a bartender. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but and then there was the Bear Bar, and there was a whole bunch.
That was my advice to y'all. Y'all are new to it, and along the way, people will do anything to dim your light here and there. So just communicate with each other. As long as you guys know who you are, people will always have an opinion, no matter what you do. Like I said, you can be Mother Teresa walking down the street, and somebody's got those chanclas. Look, girl.
Yeah. Like apparently what I wore on the cruise one day, I was one step away from house shoes. According to Clay, and I lost my shit. I was laughing so hard. He goes, well, you are one step away from house shoes. I was like, I thought I looked cute. I was all feeling
when are we going to start talking about other people?
We're not.
Oh, we're not. Those are your opinions.
Those are your opinions alone. Exactly.
And you do not want that drama.
I'm actually curious. I want to hear all the drama.
No.
You know what?
I work in the community, so I need to.
I love Julio, but come on, girl, listen up.
Switzerland.
Let's hear some stuff.
I don't put
Let's
too
hear
much.
some stuff.
No, I don't go too much. If you want to.
No,
but that's
not going to do it.
On you. Because I know the repercussions that come with it.
These are the jokes. Did you write those down? These are the jokes.
These are just jokes. But if Julio wants to turn the camera a little bit more this way, where he's not on camera, where we have like a black screen.
We had a conversation on the way here that some of the haters that talk shit about us secretly watch.
You know what? That's a good point. We have, and I'm sure all of
the
you,
haters.
everybody has.
It's kind of like the Astros. They all want to hate us, but guess who almost won the World Series?
There's those areas that you just don't walk into. There's those groups that you just, everybody has their groups, and that's just the nature of the way things work. There are groups, there are cliques, there are, not just families, but there's groups of people who they say things and they do things, and everybody knows it. And that's just the way they are. I love them all. I truthfully do. There's not one group of families or whatever out there that I don't love and appreciate all the hard work that they do.
Always be yourself, and don't be afraid to pull away from some people if you have to.
Oh, it's easy to pull away. You don't have to be vocal about it. Just pull away.
The actions speak louder than the words, and they'll get it like, oh, they don't hang out with me no more. Why don't you hang out with me? Because you're a piece of shit. That's why.
Lola and Tanya, let me tell you something right now. I have done many episodes with Julio.
Yeah.
He is having the most fun on this episode that I've ever seen. He has had more to say. I have literally sat back and said...
It's because we gave him alcohol.
That works too. And I genuinely had some of these questions on my own that I'm now glad that we're compressing them. And I always wanted to be as respectful as possible.
We're going to church, baby. This is church right here.
Because I know that if I've had these curiosities, other people have had these curiosities.
But I have never seen
respectful about it.
Him have so much fun. Just asking. I have literally. There was a few minutes where I just sat back and said, "You know what? It's Julio's show.
it's the Julio
show. I'm gonna let Julio just do his thing because that look on his face."
Joel, do me a favor. Can you scoot back and
you know what I'll do, Julio? I'll just get behind the camera,
right,
and just do the camera angles.
Joel, you're still here. Do you mind going?
Okay, and then just make comments.
Can you make us
in the background?
Please, I'll take 2 sugars.
In the second half of the show, we're gonna push Julio out, and then we're gonna talk shade.
Okay.
We just gonna talk shade. That's all.
Am I making coffee or am I opening up the champagne?
No, we're not.
So, okay, if you open up the champagne, Julio may not have a job. Julio may not have a job, and I'm going to hear about it. And
so when it comes to talking about other girls, I have nothing bad to say about any of them. I have a ton of admiration for all of the girls out there. I'm proud of a lot of them. You know who you are. Yes. There's a lot of them out there that I talk to on a regular basis, and I say, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of the courage and the performance and the drive that you have. Yes. And there's a bunch of them out there.
Yes.
There really is.
Yes. So
I just want to let everybody know out there, Julio told me a cute little story on the way here. And I'm not going to repeat the story. But all I just want to say is that Julio...
They're watching.
If they're watching, I hope they're sweating right now. Because all I've said is I'm going to talk shade. I don't have no stake in this. If I walk into the community, people are going to be like...
No. Mama raised me right. I do not talk about people on camera. I talk about people behind their back just like you're supposed to.
See, and I'm the bitch who will come up to you and go...
Tell you to your face.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm at that age now.
You can just say it to my face.
But they won't. That's the thing, they won't.
That has nothing to do with gay.
Not everybody lives
that has to do with and that's
not many people know how to live their truth or not hide behind the keyboard.
And that's what I want. I want the young kids that are struggling, that are still out there trying to figure it out. You hear all these like Brad Paisley wrote a song about what he would tell his younger self. Like all these people. It's truly, if we could go back and tell ourselves something, the biggest thing I think we would all, no matter your gender, sex, race, color, religion, whatever, would be, don't listen to anybody else's bullshit.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Be true to yourself, live your authentic life, and stop living for other people. Mm-hmm. That was the key for me to realize that I don't live for you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't live my life for him, her, they, them. I live.
One thing you'll notice when you're out in the public, being performing, doing performances, is that not everybody knows how to do that. You know how to do that. You're equipped. You have the tools that can
but that only comes from
old.
But you
being old, going through a lot of fucked up shit, also, making mistakes.
That part.
It's making the mistakes, and I have made a lot of really bad decisions.
Who at this table has not made?
And who's out there making?
I mean, I've made so many mistakes,
right?
And we are older than you. Our mistakes are on top of mistakes.
Oh my god!
I don't make mistakes. Mistakes make me.
I'm just saying, this is our third marriage.
Last.
This
is our last.
We fucked it up twice before in our life. So it's like, if the kids think that you have to do everything perfectly, no, just live, be authentic, be true to yourself, because that's who you have to sleep with at night.
Yes.
I'm going to make a list before the show's over. I will tell you my list. I have a list of all those girls that I love and appreciate, and all the ones that I think are doing a really fantastic job and should keep it up. And then I have another list.
Yeah, go for it. For sure.
It's not shade.
No, not at all.
I have all kinds of there's a ton of
shade. Will somebody please give me a little? Just give me a little taste.
You can't have shade in church. This is a church. Did you see the? This is the cathedral. This is no shade. This is the church here.
The bar is my cathedral.
Yes.
Right. That is why
the bar is holy.
You don't need a dining room in a house. You need a bar.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
That's my rule.
So back to something about the cruise. Who was there? It was Kara. It was Desi, and there was this. Oh my God, she was lovely. What was her name? Ginger?
As if
I segued into that. She's from Dallas. Scotty. Miss Ginger.
We had so much fun. There were and Ginger performed with Lola as well, because again, the commercials were needed so that the headliners could change and get ready.
I want to ask a question. Outside of drag, outside of Montrose, what do you all do?
Oh my gosh!
What's your work life like? What is your hobbies outside of Montrose, if any? Or you just like to be at home and do nothing?
No.
Well, before that, I want to hear some more of this story. Can I hear some more?
Oh, the Ginger Snap.
Which part?
Yes,
about the cruise.
Ginger Snap or whatever her name is.
Oh, Ginger.
She was amazing.
Just a little bit of tea.
No. Let me tell you something.
Ginger.
So
was there any?
I met a lot of girls.
We just had so much fun. It was just, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a full gay cruise. It was just JJ's out and about. They have their own travel agency. Yeah. So that's what JJ's out and about was about. So it's like,
how many people were on the cruise?
There was like 70. Because they were running it way
there was
low
100
capacity.
of us of 3,000.
Okay. Yeah. So in our little group, we just fans up, and it was just we just had the best time.
Yeah. By the way,
and it was the acceptance in that group. Yeah. Like, that is a gay cruise, and we were allowed to crash it and be accepted. And that was one of the biggest things that Jeffrey said, was like, he was like the little mother hen, when we first got there and we took our big picture, and he was like we accept everybody. We're here to lead by example, and we are, everyone is included, and we, conduct ourselves accordingly. And it was just like that. It was amazing. That moment when everybody came together. And did everybody have fun and get drunk and do all the stuff that we did? Get whatever.
They were looking for some guy for like 3 days. There was one guy on the page who was like, we're looking for
blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And still don't know where he was.
Did they ever find?
They did find,
he was tied to somebody's roof in the room. And he was fine.
We don't know, but it was,
That was my last 2 cruises, by the way. Having to ask where I'm at on several occasions.
Where am I?
Yes.
Within the cruise.
That's a good cruise.
The bad thing is that I'm not, which is funny, because I'm not a night owl. Yeah. I am a 9 to 5 girl. Okay. I've worked since I was 16. I'm those are my hours. Like, you get me from 9 to 5, you've got the productive person. You get me too early and too late, not so much. So it's interesting that I've joined this community of night owls.
How did this show between you and I become their show?
Hi.
How are you?
Good. Great.
Because his hat's his nasty pig, and I'm kind of in love with that.
Like I said, he's super excited because
this is the shy one.
I know.
I can leave. I can leave.
No, please no. I can leave. And we can go talk shade. All right, secret little show. Let's do on ourselves.
You can go keep on about
holding back as another consequence.
Just leave the bottle. we'll go.
Nope.
Oh, we got to refill that one.
I'm too old and I have way too much insurance. Isn't that what she says on fried green tomatoes?
Huh?
I'm old and I have more insurance. That's why she rammed the girl's car.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage.
Ooh. So back to what's your life like outside of Montrose, outside of the neighborhood? What do y'all?
So I travel 100% for work until COVID, and I've been remote working from home since COVID. All that's about to transition in a couple of months. I'm a business process expert, SAP trainer, supply chain. Really boring shit. It's called computers. It's something.
Computers.
I did that. I've been doing that for a few years. Before that, I was into construction, water, wastewater, really boring stuff.
What he's not telling you is that he's the perfect housewife.
And I am the perfect housewife.
I've noticed.
You can smell. If you're not here, we'll do the smell and rip. There's some. What's
I don't do anything.
Broccoli
True
cheese
story.
soup,
I do
cooking.
nothing around this house. I don't cook. I don't clean.
Yeah.
I do clean every now and then when
So
I
that's
see
all part about being the queen. Part about being the queen is taking care of your household. There is a maid's outfit that is never worn anymore, by the way, because it's kind of just outgrown.
She went on a cruise and put
She got
pounds
fat.
on.
But as far as laundry and cooking and take care of the floors and all that, I'm home. Why the fuck wouldn't you want to do that? I love to do that. I love to clean.
Why the fuck? Because I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah. But I work. I mean, we both work really hard. I'm in sales. I've been in the dental business for this is my 30th year. It's really all I know. So, but I'm a salesperson. I'm very. I say I'm shy. I'm really good at what I do.
Be very careful when someone tells you that they're a salesperson or a musician. They're both fucking liars is what they are.
Oh.
That's their profession. A musician and a salesperson is the kind of person that like is going to entertain you or get you to buy something.
Charming.
Because that's
they have
their
great
job.
Qualities.
I'm done.
I know exactly what that's what I
She's
do.
a
Marketing.
great salesperson.
But see, but I'm not a salesperson on anything else other than what I know.
Yes.
Like the stuff I sell that I know.
You know it so well, it sells itself.
It's just,
for you.
and it's just, because I've been in it for so long.
All I can say is that she charmed you, didn't she?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all.
So-
that matters.
Actually, he pulled up on his red golf cart when I was freezing my ass off, and it was a moment. It was like, here he comes, the knight in shining, the
red
cowboy
golf
in
cart.
shining
I'm sorry,
red
that's
golf
so
cart.
white.
It was like,
That's the whitest thing I've
he kept
ever
going
heard.
around
Right.
and around
You
and
can say
around.
it was the whitest thing I've ever heard.
Oh my
Because
God.
on one of the, or can we talk about rodeo?
Yeah.
Can I say Mayor Turner? Can I say rodeo? Anyway, my point is that we met during the Houston Harris County Houston Livestock Show Rodeo.
Yes.
Anyway, I was on a committee. I was in leadership. She was a rookie. I met her. I said yes, and pulled up on my cart and took her away like a knight in shining armor. And then I said, "Look, here's my purse."
2 years later.
But one of the committees we're on involves transporting patrons back and forth through golf carts and cars and trains and all that. So that's part of what we do. We've been doing it for like 10 years, and she's fantastic at it. She's in higher leadership than I've ever been in, and she's wonderful at it.
I'm just a captain.
Anyway, back to me.
By the way, Julio, these are two people to know when the Houston Livestock Show rolls around because I get those drink tickets. I get those drink tickets.
Oh yeah. As far as rodeo,
we're on a cook-off team as well.
but we don't talk about the cook-off team because they haven't allowed Lola to be part of the cook-off team yet.
Really?
No, we're
Start
not
your own
going on
cook-off
shit.
No, we're not going to go there.
We're not
Start your own.
going to
No, absolutely. So one of the things
Get
that
gay as hell. Start it. Bring all
one
the
of
flags
the
out.
things that Lola has been working on is a charter for her own committee.
Yes.
Not my own committee, but a committee to be basically LGBT
Do it.
community awareness.
Sign me
so
up.
I
I
want it to
volunteer.
be, for all of you out there, I'm going to try to start a rodeo committee. And we all know here.
I want to help.
We all know Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is rodeo, and 1 month out of the year we're all cowboys.
Yes.
And hi, sweetheart.
baby.
So what I think needs to happen is I think that there needs to be a little bit more observance of
Yes.
the real
And
community.
there's a lot of people in the
Houston.
gay community that go to the rodeo. When I go to the rodeo, I see everybody from Montrose there.
Yes, and so I've been speaking for a while with some friends about starting a committee.
Yes.
And it may happen, and we would love everyone's support once it gets out there.
And then when you do start your committee, we would love to do a podcast there. Just throwing that out.
Absolutely.
Just to run it out.
Just throwing that out there.
But yeah,
I enjoy looking at Wranglers.
I want to be a part of this somehow.
And I have missed looking at Wranglers for the last 2
Let me
years.
tell you,
gorgeous.
I have a meeting. The best part of, outside, you were asking, outside of work, I'm probably more the workaholic than just because of the nature of what I do. I sell very large equipment, and dentists now work 7 days a week. It's not normal for me to have to take a call or a FaceTime,
Something, yeah.
and
That's sales. It happens.
it's what I do, but it's because I sell, but I also train what I sell.
Correct.
So I have to do kind of dual roles.
Yes.
Come back to me.
But-
So
This is my life,
So
everybody.
this equipment that you sell, tell us more.
I know, right?
it makes teeth.
Okay.
Yes.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, can we promote any people? No,
We don't need to.
Don't need to. Don't need to. Never
But I'm really interested in your rodeo thing that you're going to do.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
So currently,
Yeah.
I like
in
the
a little
sound of
nutshell,
that.
we're on a couple of committees, and we are also on a cook-off
That's
team.
amazing.
And so, yes, if you want to come to the cook-off,
Yes.
Anybody want a dog?
we are part of the cook-off team, and you're welcome to come out.
Thank
But yes,
you.
I do want to get another venue started.
I want to be part of that history when you make your own charter, the LGBTQ.
I want to be on the cook-off team.
Absolutely.
I want to be a part of that.
I want to be the taste
We're
tester.
going to cook, and we're going to party, and we're going to have a great time.
With your poll and my poll, the show's poll, we can get a lot of LGBTQ members to show up and show
Absolutely.
out.
That's it. That's the key, right? It's showing up is anybody can show up, but can you show out? Can you put
We want
on that
visibility.
event and that party and do it in an
We want visibility.
I'm one of those
we
people
want
who-
representation. We want all.
That's it.
Well,
That's
like
it.
earlier, I said that I'm not the person who's going to watch the TV show because you're watching it, or you tell me to watch it.
And maybe in the crowd,
But
when
when-
you are holding your own event, there might be a Tanya and a Lola in the crowd that are just now.
Well, that's all you can hope for. All you can hope for is to
And they see
inspire
you guys,
others
they
to
see
go
you
on and keep
going
pushing.
like, we want to be a part of that. We don't know how, but we want to be a part of that.
Absolutely.
Well,
Yeah,
and
there's
that's
a
the
whole lot of community supporters throughout the Houston Rodeo, and I'm not going to knock the Houston Rodeo. It's a
I know-
fantastic organization.
We love it.
Education for the kids. But
That's
there's a
why we
whole
do
lot
it.
of people who would much rather prefer to have
Can you
their
imagine?
own venue
Hold
to
on.
be able to say,
I'm already organizing this in my head. Can you imagine a drag show at the rodeo?
Yes.
can I?
Oh, we've already
Can I imagine
everybody
a drag
brings
show at
in
the
all
cook-off?
of these
yeah.
in all of the tents. Everybody's because it's all about
Can you see
who brings the bigger band or the whatever. I'm like, fuck you. I'm going to bring the drag
flag
queens.
flying
Oh, yeah.
along with the
Yes.
United
And
States
I have a
flag.
list of queens that would be out there and would
Yes, they
love
would.
to perform.
Yes, they would.
So, for all of you out here who are listening and watching who are supporters of Houston Rodeo, understand that we don't want to tear anything down.
Correct.
What we're trying to do is we want to be
We want to add to
visible
we want to-
local part.
Yes.
We want to have
We just want to be included.
You know what? I'll
Yeah.
put it to this. Give us the ugliest corner in the entire rodeo. We'll make that thing fabulous.
I was going to say, we'll pretty that bitch
We'll
up.
pretty that bitch up.
Like that.
It should be the
I've-
best corner you ever had.
I've
It
been
would
on
be-
a cook-off team out there for more than 10 years, and I know the good corners.
Yes. Oh, we know you belong.
Dark corners, lit corners,
That's not my point.
drunk
I'm not-
corners. Don't step their corners.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can literally put these queens like on the outskirts, and they will still have the biggest crowd. At
I
the rodeo.
guarantee you, I will have the guys who are roping and bucking bulls in our. I guarantee you,
I want to be a part
it's
of this
epic.
somehow.
It
Lola,
will be
I
epic.
need to be there. I need to be there.
Yes.
Damn it! I need to be.
I need help in
If you're gonna
deciding
get
on what
the boys
committee's
from
gonna
the
be called,
roping and
though.
stuff in there, I need to be
I mean,
there.
it should be rainbow. I mean, it should be something really creative. It should be something, there's already a community outreach committee. Just to let you know. And there's
we already know
hundreds of
about that
committees.
one.
Hell, there's like
Pride cookout. Pride
Fifty-
something.
some pride
Somewhat
committee.
generic name.
Anyway, hashtag, however you want to do it, Lola Sanders, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Just suggest names.
You have the Pride tent. Can you imagine your Pride tent?
It would be the prettiest tent out there.
Which will paint the fucking rainbow on it just to be
Oh, yeah.
extra.
Oh, yeah. And who would our sponsors be? Let's
Oh yeah, a lot of the bars in Houston.
That's
I-
all.
I
It's
think-
all about for cook-off.
Yeah.
It's all now. Committee for HLSR is different. putting a cook-off team together is a separate entity.
I can put you in contact with people in different bars, and I know Jesse can too, and all that. So we can put you we can have that conversation.
Absolutely, I'm sure there's a lot of bar owners.
Their name is up there somehow.
That's what our
dying
current
to support Houston Rodeo.
Oh yeah.
Because it's always been one of those things. Again, not knocking the rodeo. I love the rodeo, but it's always been one of those things where it's just not. It's just not the place.
It's not, there's no.
Well, it's not.
I mean, all the men are wearing high heels anyway.
Yeah, technically, to be honest.
Aren't they?
But there's never been a dedicated.
And tight jeans. Remember the tight jeans. Let's not forget the tight jeans.
Oh no, can't
forget. But I know they show up in full force. They represent it. So if we.
We know many. I mean.
Yes.
There are so many queens that live for rodeo, but they don't have. But they can't go. Not they can't go. They don't go as a queen because that's not acceptable in that medium right now.
Not to knock the Houston Rodeo too much. They do have a gay day, so they do have a day where the.
Yeah, they have a pride day.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100%. There are.
Let's not completely knock the. We are participating in this.
We're talking about the cookout space,
it's just on a smaller scale. And yes, a cookout space would be
a cookout
team. He wants to start his own charter, his own.
Yes, we would love to, in the end of all this, to be able to have a committee that's specifically concerned with supporting the community.
Yes,
would love to have that as a committee. Because let's face it, there's a lot of gay people that go to rodeo.
Yes.
There's a lot of gay people that are on committees. And if they had one committee that was just their own.
Everybody else has one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Houston,
a lot of other ethnic groups, there are days that are dedicated to other groups.
Yeah.
All we want is our little piece of it.
Corner of the map.
So that it's all inclusive.
Let's do it. Sign me up. Let's do this. I'm down for that.
Okay, we talked about rodeo. We avoided the shade conversation.
Of course.
Now we're going to turn the show back over to Joel.
Crickets.
Hello.
I'm going to add. I think I have a cricket sound. Let me see if I have a cricket sound. That was the scary sound. That was. But I'm going to put it in there anyway. There you go.
You have sound effects?
Yes. You can't hear them. I can only hear them.
I can't. No.
Okay. We decided to leave the headphone. Well, I'm the only one because I need to make sure I keep the sound in check. But
that's right. You don't have headphones.
Yeah, so I'm the only one wearing headphones. Everybody else is.
No, but this is Osby. Thank you for the conversation today. I love that you guys were open and allowed us to ask questions.
More open than I thought. I thought we would have to pull teeth.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
No, that's my job.
And I've asked these questions to y'all. It's some stuff that people might have been thinking, and so when you share the video with your friends, they'll see okay, that makes sense. I didn't want to ask them because some people don't want to be rude. They don't want to be insensitive. Or
did we ask? Did we answer everything?
But I know.
There's a lot of people, like you're saying. There's a lot of people out there that have the questions, and they don't have the timing or the courage or the opportunity to actually ask those questions.
Well, I think we asked the questions that those people would ask. I don't know of any other questions.
Not all. I know you all get other questions too.
If there was more questions, we'd be here for 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
So I think we got to the most important questions.
I think a lot of people just are curious as to how,
Hell, I was curious.
But the thing is that we're, like I said, he, she, they, them, whatever, all of that bull, just who you're a person. We have the autonomy to do what we want.
Yes.
And a lot of people think, so you have an open relationship. Well, open with each other in the fact that we tell each other everything. And so if there's something that he wants to go do, that's her business. And me the same way. But at the end of the day, this is our home. Yeah. We have my dad here. We're very normal in many ways.
Everyday life.
It's like we're abnormally normal. Just in the fact that we're just who we are, and we don't think that we're special or unique, or we just don't take ourselves that seriously.
Yeah, we didn't come into all this saying, like we've been talking about, we didn't come in here saying we're going to be an example, we're going to do that. No.
And that's the beauty of it. You didn't try. You weren't even looking for that.
Because we were just trying to figure it out. Yeah. I mean, to be honest,
we were competing in a drag race.
I was along for a ride that I had no idea that I was going to be on a journey with. And like you said, somebody else may have just been like, have fun, I'm out. Yeah. Because this is not what I signed up for. But you know what? 2.5 years ago, I didn't sign up for him to have throat cancer either.
Okay.
Oh, we didn't.
I didn't sign up for him to get sick and almost die.
Yes.
So a lot of what we went through during that time period and her being here, I don't care who you are, you're here.
Yes.
That's it. And with all of the people through the pandemic who have lost loved ones and lost families and that's what bothers me with the drama and the bullshit and the backbite. It's like, y'all, this world is not a good world anymore.
Life is too short.
It is very short, and you have to.
Joel is learning that as he's seeing more of the scene.
You have to.
He's seeing that. Wow, and he told me that we had a conversation. He's like, why are people so much like that? He was just frustrated. Why are people like this? Why isn't I finally looked at? Oh, baby girl, you're just.
Well, right now though, right now.
Right.
Go ahead.
I want to add to that in the fact that yes, I am seeing that, but at the same time, I'm also seeing, like I said, right now we're at such a raw stage. Right now, I think the community is at such a raw stage because, like I said, the things that we swept under the rug are now coming to the forefront, and these are hard conversations that sometimes the community does not like to have.
And that's where.
And so I'm starting to see the change.
Yes.
It's just the fact that people aren't great at handling change.
And one thing about the neighborhood you'll notice a lot is you have the younger crowd that's more open-minded, aggressive thinking, and then you have some of the middle people, and then you have some of the older people who are stuck in their ways.
Right.
They only see it black and white, and what are you two doing here? Who invited you to this?
Exactly.
And
we've got that, and it's okay.
And that's why
as a community, though, remember during this time, it's been almost 2 years. First off, you're a community. You're going through this. COVID pandemic, or whatever. Everybody's fucked up right now. Everybody's, this is like a 9/11. This is like HIV back in the 80s. I mean, this is one of those things that's going to affect everybody long term. No one's going back to normal. It's not going to be the normal that it was. It's going to be a new normal. But everybody's dealing with this shit, and so you have to deal with it as best you can. Right. And fortunately, you have a community that can be one way or the other in support or attitude or opinions, and so if you're smart enough, just listen.
Also, they will never end. FYI, it will never end.
No, it doesn't.
These will continue. It will be a new one every month. There'll be something different every week. It will never end. So that's what I'm saying. Have patience. Have strong, thick skin.
Right.
Learn to roll shit off your back.
I learned that the hard. I heard somebody within who I thought was in the inner circle of friends and positivity and whatnot.
And worst critics.
The shit that I heard about me, it almost knocked me to my knees the night that I was like, you don't know me. Like, why are you saying? But it wasn't. It could have been somebody at rodeo. It could have been somebody at my work. It wasn't. I don't think what I had to do is take a step back and go, okay, that's that person's opinion.
Correct.
And you know what? I don't control your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. I can only control mine, like I was saying earlier. And that's what I've learned is...
It goes back to what I was telling y'all earlier. Along this path, in this journey, and the experiences that you're going to have, good, bad, the good people, the bad people that you meet with, thank you for you guys being yourselves. You didn't realize it, but you guys are trailblazers within our own community right now. At least that's how I see it. Because you're more in the public figure, you're more in the public eye, so so many people are looking at it and they're curious as to what you are doing. And the curiosity is a good thing in a way. The good curiosity.
Sure.
Because when people are asking now, that means they're open-minded. They're open to it. And they just want to learn about it. Some people go about it the wrong way. Some people go about it the right way.
Well, and I'm going to add a caveat to that. Those of you that have been doing this a long time, Lola is not someone that's been doing this a long time. I'm learning as I go. I learn from the young girls. I learn from the old girls. I learn from everybody. We are very giving and understanding, but we're not here trying to say this is it. No, we're
not trying to steal anybody's show. We're not. I mean, like I said,
that wasn't your agenda walking into it. You were like, "We're here, guys, and this is what our mission statement is." No. You just came in like, "Hey, we're just here trying to perform."
She just wants to perform and have fun, and it's not disrespectful to those who do it full time. We love those people and love the fact that
So just know
they have that
that
choice.
you guys are an example for somebody who's out there going through the same thing that you guys went through, are going through.
Yeah.
You guys are an example to somebody out there, FYI. So thank you for being a great example. You guys are a great example. I love the dynamic you two have. I love the openness, the understanding between the both of you, the love that's there. So
Let me
thank
tell you. It's work.
Oh, of course.
It's a
Like
lot of
any
work.
relationship is work.
It's a lot. She's a lot to put up
Okay,
with.
yeah.
You
This
have no
is-
idea.
This is why these moments. This is why I love having this show.
Oh, hey, Joe, welcome back.
Having, I want Julio, and this is for Julio as well. Having a thick skin does not mean that you've given up hope on a community.
Correct.
Oh, no.
I still,
Oh no.
even if this community frustrates me on a certain level, I still have hope.
Yes.
Because every time I'm sitting down with whoever I'm with, whoever's
Yep.
on the show, I can see it.
Yes.
And regardless of the negativity we might see in the
It's always
community,
gonna be there.
when I sit down, I have not lost hope.
Yeah.
Because I still have hope that this community can get its shit
And that's the
together.
thing.
Well, and for all of that, there's still Abby.
And like I said, and I only have one piece of advice. That's it. Just continue to do your thing. Have fun. That's it.
Oh, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah.
We
Just
have a
continue to
blast.
do your
As you're going through this.
I don't have to worry about you and thick skin and doing your thing. You've lived life.
That's part of it.
I have a question. I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody that does these shows that brings like drama to the show?
Yes.
Why?
They have nothing better to do with their own
Oh
lives.
no.
Are you?
This is
Are you talking shit?
Yeah.
no.
Indirectly, yes.
She's indirectly talking shit.
So we have in the short. I tell everybody I have weeks of experience. So in the short,
And we're all sick of hearing it because it's
Yeah,
been
but
a year.
In the short time that we've been doing this, I mean, we met a lot of girls and a lot of people who have been super, super positive and super great, successful. And then we met those that have been having troubles and stuff and struggling. And it's like we support everyone. We support those who've been successful. We support those who are struggling. But then there are those, for some reason, they just have to drop a drama dime in the middle of every conversation.
Of course.
And it's like, that's just the nature of the beast. And that's okay, because if you're aware of it, you just have to understand that's just what happens.
Here's another key advice that I'll give you with
Ooh.
people like that. When you watch them and
Yeah.
you watch that behavior, how they do it to others, sooner or later they'll do it to you.
Oh, bless
You
your
have to
heart.
be careful how you navigate around those
He
people.
is enjoying his teaching moments.
I
He
learned
really
the hard
is.
way. It's like I've been friends with people who are like, no, never, don't treat me like that. That's
So
how
I grew up in the church as a young man. I grew up in the church as a young man, and I learned a scripture a long time ago,
Hallelujah.
and he said, he who tooteth not his own horn, the same horn shall not be tooted. My point is
Ariana
that,
Grande 369.
don't try, don't do this, because first off, I've got pretty thick skin.
Yes.
She has much thicker skin than I do, and you there's nothing to tear down here. There's nothing you're not gonna say anything or do anything about us.
Yeah.
We're strong.
Yeah.
We're very supportive, and we don't cast that stuff towards people.
Yes.
We don't drop drama for no reason. We understand, and we're old.
Hello.
Well, I mean,
We get it. We're just like, we're here just to have a good time, and we'll
Yeah.
drive ourselves home.
the hardest part for us is we want
Drive
to.
ourselves home.
We want to be. Oh, me, you drive?
Can I
What's that?
can I jump in here for just one
Do you know
second?
what the break does?
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. I'm
What was
back,
his
y'all.
name again?
I'm back, y'all.
Joel emerged from
I'm going
Can
in.
we-
I'm
can
going
we,
in again. Give me.
Okay,
There we go.
so many years working in the service industry, I have a bladder of steel, but that bladder of steel is weakening. I think we need to take a break.
Somebody go pee pee. And our bottle's empty, so we're gonna fill it up.
Actually, we're probably almost done.
Yeah.
Commercials.
I think I want a few more minutes.
That's fine. Yeah.
Because I think there's
a great conversation.
It's a great conversation. I want more to talk about it. But and no one take offense to this, but Daddy needs to go.
Daddy gotta go pee pee. You gotta go pee pee.
Please do not subject yourself to what Joel had to with
How do
my
we sign
dad's
off? What do we
bathroom.
do? What do we do? How do we sign off?
We're just gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna.
Just a quick message.
We'll be right back after these messages.